Hello, happy Tuesday to you. You can see I'm a little bit messy today because actually for you it's Tuesday, for me it's Monday night, and I've just had my bath ready for work on Tuesday morning. Well, I'm going to be, while you listen to this, I will be delivering a workshop about transitions for home and school. So um, it's nice to see you over a time warp. So I'm going to talk to you about road rage. Two chapters: the road rage non-incident and the other road rage non-incident. This is one of my very proud moments where ADHD came second to common sense. About 2 years ago, I was driving through Lincoln when my youngest daughter in the back seat saw a car. Sorry. About 2 years ago, I was driving through Lincoln with my youngest daughter in the back seat, and I saw a car behind a junction in the left lane which appeared to be parked. That's a bit dangerous, I thought. I actually thought that either the car had broken down or the driver had fallen asleep. Anyway, I drove round the car and went into the supermarket around the corner. Next thing I knew, somebody was shouting at me. Swearing, generally abusive and very threatening. I figured that this must be the guy from the car, and I'm trying to explain what had happened, but this guy was not leaving any gaps and was very angry. Also, I had my precious offspring to protect. So I stood still and looked around me. There was my target, a security camera. I edged to the side until I was certain that I was in view, and there I stood until the angry person had run out of steam. Eventually, he strutted off, and my daughter looked at me and said, "He wasn't very nice, Daddy." No, he wasn't. Why am I telling you this? Because for probably the first time that I can remember, I intuitively didn't do anything impulsive in a dangerous situation. My self-taught skills were starting to pay off. Result. So the other road rage non-incident, I do not care about cars. I'm also a bit deaf. I actually don't understand car people. People get so stressed about their horseless carriages, they spend thousands of pounds on these things and then worry themselves about safe car parking spaces where they won't get scratched. The lengths that people go to are incredible. Parking in disabled spaces or even parking across two spaces. Well, I'm the opposite. I really don't like paying more than £1,000 for a car. This means as the years go by and things get more expensive, the quality of my cars declines. I don't care if my car gets scratched, and I don't even care what car I have. My cars last about 1 year, after which time I phone my local dealer and ask him to deliver my potential new jalopy. It could be anything. My deafness? I have a condition called auditory processing disorder, APD. This means my brain doesn't process sound correctly all the time. It also means that some sounds can be quite painful to me. It's a condition that many people with ADHD have. I do, however, have some rather fabulous hearing aids. Starkey's Livio AI artificial intelligence hearing technology. On this particular day, though, I wasn't wearing them. I had arrived at my office car park and was just getting out of my car when the guy in the car next to me jumped out of his car and started ranting incomprehensible gibberish at me about his car. Apparently, I had bumped his passenger door with my driver's door. As I said, I wasn't wearing my hearing aid, so I didn't hear it happen, and I don't have any recollection of doing it. I did take a close look at the car and I couldn't see anything. Nonetheless, he was very angry, very upset, very sweary, and definitely very shouty. Call Captain ADHD. What should I do in this situation? The old me would have reacted impulsively and probably escalated the situation, but this is the new me. This new me had been working very hard not to escalate confrontations. So I thought hard, ignore him. Lock your car, take a photo of his number plate in case something happens and walk away. Do not make eye contact. All the while, the man is getting louder and more sweary. I went to my office for a calming decaf, and when there came a knock on my office door. Apparently he had keyed my car. Off I went to have a look, and there it was, a big denty squiggle. Well, that was it. Everybody was on me. Call the police. This man's dangerous. You can't let this lunatic walk the streets. What if he had a knife, etc., etc., etc. In other words, the neurotypical community was putting me under huge pressure to escalate the situation. Everyone who'd witnessed the incident was telling me that this man had been behaving violently, dangerously, and aggressively. I didn't know this I don't have the ability to judge this. I just thought he was horrible and that was the end of it. As for the scratch, I just figured that these things happen. This car had only cost me £695, but people kept telling me that it was the principle of the thing, and I was completely aware there was a good chance that the witnessing neuros were probably better judges of the situation than me, so I went along with it. The next thing I know, I'm in a police station being interviewed by a very nice copper called Jack, name changed. There he was with his thick stab vest, carrying multiple phones, handcuffs, a big stick, and all the other accessories considered law enforcement chic. Meanwhile, I was wearing my penguin desert boots, Farah trousers, a paisley lambretta shirt, and a very, very nice checked trench coat. Think Cat from Red Dwarf. I was terrified. Suddenly I feel like I'm in loads of trouble. Is Jack making friends just to lull me in a false sense of security before pinning me down and tasering me? Now I need to be clear right here. Jack was lovely and gave me no reason to believe he was going to turn on me. This was just full-on, overactive ADHD paranoia. And then the unthinkable happened. It turned out that Jack was a car man, and he particularly liked the swearing vandals make and model. Oh, good grief, and then it got worse. Jack had been around the guy's house. Apparently, he'd started sobbing and begging for mercy. Apparently, the reason he was so angry with me was because I'd refused to engage in the argument. This had infuriated him. He saw no alternative but to vandalise my car. I was the bad guy all of a sudden, but hang on. I thought that the right thing to do was walk away, not escalate. Apparently not. So I now needed information. What are we talking about here? What are my options? Easy. I can press charges or I can settle for an informal warning on the poor fella. By this time, I was frantic. I just kept saying to the policeman, do what you have to do, but just make this go away. Now I've got 2 points to make here. Even when we have learned coping strategy, us ADHD folks struggle to judge situations effectively, and as a result can get it wrong. Most of us don't have the thought processes to be able to decode these situations. That's executive functioning again. Maybe I should not have listened to the neuro's advice. I had made my decision. I didn't care about the damage to my car. I didn't want to escalate. I felt that there had been some kind of karmic resolution. I'd dented his car, he'd scratched mine. Sorted. But there are lots of neurotypical people out there who try to educate us ADHD folk in how to be more like them. This is not how it works. No matter what you think to my reaction to this incident, and many of you will disagree with me, I'm sure, the point is this. We think differently. Not wrongly, just differently. And our thought processes are just as relevant as anybody else's. Well, thank you for listening on this Tuesday morning, Monday night. Hope you're enjoying the book, Andrew and the Magic Giveash ometer. It's $7.99 on Amazon and $4.99 on Amazon Kindle. And if you've got Kindle Unlimited, it's free to download. Lovely. See you on Wednesday, which may well be Tuesday. Who knows? Goodbye, friends.